Game, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3 currently underway here. I have those names around. There we go. It is tied up now 1-1, and this is the finals match of qualifier number 3 for Copa America. I'm Rifkin. I've been casting tonight with my friend Zombie Grub, and spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map for IVD Gaming, the blue Terran player Ruff.
In the upper left, as the red Zerg, it is Blord. Lady. Lord.
Belady. Okay, so Blord played a pretty interesting game there. And again, there's a lot of this and that, but one thing I want to bring to attention real quick, guys. Ruff did not type anything at the end of the game, but we got into the lobby. The first thing he did was said, hey, I tried to type GG, but nothing showed up. I'm not sure if it did in game. So he wasn't trying to be BM by any means. He wanted to make sure his opponent knew that before he even hopped in, before he even settled into anything. So, hashtag good guy Ruff.
I'm like super frustrated we haven't seen someone beat Blord with mech yet.
Right? And again, the thing that Blord is the definition of like a barbarian Zerg, you know? Like if I was gonna give him a nickname, that's what I would do it, because there's no refinement to his build. It's just brute force, and in 3 situations we've seen him in, well I guess 4 now, it's just been kind of, hey look, Ultralisks are pretty cool. Come at me.
You know, we do focus a lot on the Ultralisks because they are the oddity. But it, like the Vipers, those two, they're just, I feel like they're both playing so passive, and Ruff and, you know, the other mech player that we saw with like barely any scouting, and they like don't assume that it's going to be Vipers, even though that is a very common offensive tactic used by Zergs. It's just like, apparently, if they don't go Roach Hydra, then they're not getting Vipers, is like the common thinking or something like that. Like, but if they're just standing back getting 200 Ultra Viper, then like, don't, like, that's what they're doing. Don't not think that.
Baby Sky!
It's still good.
I'm sorry, this just came to me. Baby Sky was the Terran player we cast him against. I'm pretty positive that was the name. I could be wrong. Sorry, I got excited.
Whoa, that's a hole. Whoopsie daisy. Maybe that was on purpose and Marines to go out of it. Anyways, it's gonna be filled up by the tech lab. Alright, so...
You know, what's kind of funny though is this opening, this wall that he puts down so quickly, guys. Granted, this has led to some weirder, cheesier openings. I kind of started talking about before we realized it was Hellions in game number 1, but there's a player named HTO Mario who is a pretty renowned North American mech player, and he would open like this a lot of the time, where you put the first supply depots down here, and I mean, it led to a command center first, not the barracks into the factory build that we see out of Ruff, but this is not unheard of. This isn't like the first time a player's ever done this. The thing is, though, it's still unconventional no matter how you look at it. Oh, for a second I was like, is he really going to scout with the factory? Like, what?
It looks like Ruff, maybe going for mech again. Of course, the first game, we never really got to see what he was going to do. Yes, he got an armory, but people have been doing that a lot just to get the Hellbats and then going into bio. Second game, a little bit of the same thing, except he got tanks instead of Hellions, but he did go into mech. And with the second factory coming down, it looks to be Blue Flame Hellion, and then probably into mech.
And that Hellion pops out at the sweet moment there. Ruff actually holds everything. I don't know, I kind of wonder if, like, Blord, we've seen, it's odd to say, guys, but we've seen more of Blord's late game than anything else, and it's usually not been because of his choice, but more of his opponents. I kind of hope Ruff goes with the aggressive this time, and I want to see what Blord can do and dance in the mid game. The nice thing about Copa America, it does kind of bring attention to players like Blord, players that are not normally on our radar. And while he may or may not do well against Ruff, the thing that's kind of cool is we've already seen he's got some very interesting late game tactics. But it's also one of the few times I've ever got to meet a player, quote unquote, and see his late game before his early or his mid game. Yeah.
I mean, the series that we cast him, it was seriously like agreement, no rush, 15 minutes. So it was not a lot to see in the early and mid game. Now Ruff tries to go with these very early Hellions again. The last time we got into the main, and the Queens couldn't chase because there was no creep. Oh, it's not gonna happen this time.
Well, while this was going on, guys, I was a little curious about Blord. What's really cool about the Copa America website is they have profiles created for each of the players. On the brackets, all you gotta do is click their name. And Blord is actually from Peru, and he's 20 years old. Pretty cool stuff. It's worth noting that, of course, in Copa America so far, he's got a 100% win rate for the season, but, of course, we'll see those stats change a little bit as we get into the group stages. But so he's not some secret Korean or Canadian or American, he's just straight up from Peru.
It seems to be that he is going back into mech, so we'll get to talk about it more and hypothesize as to why Blord seems to be working out so well with these ultras. I mean, the first time I saw it, it was such sloppy games that I was like, well, it doesn't seem to really work out unless both players mess up. So I'm not really a big fan of it. But now that it's working against someone who really had all the cards in his favor to defend it, I'm like, okay, maybe this is a thing. Maybe it's like going to become a thing. Something that's really like powerful against specifically people who do turtle.
We'll see if that can end up being the case. I mean, he's still the only example we've seen of it so far, but...
Yeah. I was thinking, and it's kind of like... that queen died in the fiery.
I know, she got punished is what she did.
Oh,
that transformation servos, though. These walls won't stand up to the Hellbat damage, that's for certain. He focuses down the one evolution chamber, it pops so quickly. This spine crawler doesn't stand a chance, the queen doesn't stand a chance, and this drone line will be shortly following it. This is not looking good here for Blord.
That's why we're gonna be seeing.
Oh God.
There's no place to run. That Evo chamber just blocked those drones from only escape.
I love that he untransformed some of these. He can actually chase these down now, but most of them are gonna die in the ramp anyways.
Oh God.
God. A great disturbance was felt in the force. No third base behind this, no units to play with. Banelings are on the way, but Banelings will not connect with enough of this. They'll clear out about half the Hellions, but it's not like Ruff stopped producing anything. Well, he did, he's supply block, but if he could, he would still be producing behind this. With 800 minerals in the bank, I don't know if he can hold on till the Mutalisks are out. Oh God. Yeah, he kills not even all the Hellbats. Hellions still going to town. They take out the Queen. Muta's about to pop, but these are the last few drones, down to 11 workers, soon to be even less.
Save yourselves,
oh God.
drones.
Oh God.
We're not.
Well, Ruff says, thank you for the Ultralist, sir. Here's a bit of payback. 2 drones remain, one's on gas, one's on minerals, and he actually doesn't have enough money to build another. There we go. Now maybe a third drone will be on the way, but the hatchery fell. No third base. There's a couple Mutalisks. All Ruff needs to do is camp around the turrets, get a Thor out, he's good to go. Some Widow Mines are even in play. It's sad to see our...
13 supply. 13. That's a sad number.
It's a sad little number. But again, what's nice is if you're a Blord fan, if you're from Peru and you're rooting for your hometown hero, guys, this isn't like a qualifier stage where he's out. This is the winner's match to determine seeding. So a Ruff will take this series 2-1 in the end. And quite frankly, I feel safe saying that because there's no other way this game plays out. He's still going to be in the tournament. You will still see Blord in Copa America. This will just simply help lead toward what group he goes into, where the seeding is, and how we'll have to get to...
There's more Hellions than man. Yeah.
I think he killed the last drone there. Let me check. Yeah, 0 harvesters at the end. GG.
0 drones.